Hello, this is the value side of investing. It's our preview of today's corporate news and events that are likely to move the financial markets. Now today on Value Side, Leitziger closes the NAFTA backdoor. ADP reports new employees. All that and the rest of earnings preview coming right up. Welcome to the Wednesday, October 3rd edition of Value Side. I'm your host, David Ravel. Now, our preview today should not be considered a recommendation, either to buy or sell any of the securities discussed. Well, up until now, the U.S. Trade Representative has been a backwater in most administrations, an organization designed to encourage business relationships and welcome foreign dignitaries, but do little else. All that, however, has changed under Robert Leitziger, the current U.S. Trade Representative. It is no exaggeration to say that Leitziger and his crew are the leading edge of this administration's foreign policy. Recently, it was this group that proposed and implemented the trade tariffs. And this week, they have just completed negotiations on the brand new United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, the USMCA, which will replace the old North American Free Trade Agreement, otherwise known as NAFTA. Now, the full details of this extensive agreement are just now becoming public, but to me, the most significant new policy will be the closing of the NAFTA backdoor. Under NAFTA, any of our trade rivals, such as the European Union or especially China, could ship their parts to either Mexico or Canada, who would then assemble or otherwise enhance those parts, and then the products were essentially free to come into the United States. It was a wide-open backdoor to the U.S. market, and an easy way around any trade barrier that the U.S. might construct. And if we let it stand, it would be a way to undermine the current U.S.-Chinese trade policy. All that changes under the USMCA. Under Article 32.10, each party must inform the other of their intent to use another non-free trade country. So, for instance, if Mexico wished to use Chinese parts in assembling some finished goods, they must first inform Canada and the U.S., and then gain their acceptance to do so. The U.S. and/or Canada can then approve or disapprove the move. If approved, then trade goes forward. However, if disapproved and Mexico still wants to trade with, in our example, China, for this particular item, then that item would fall outside the USMCA trade agreement and trade in the international market just like any other foreign good. So in general, this new agreement will fulfill many of the promises of NAFTA by allowing a more free trade environment between the three North American countries while presenting a united front against non-free trade countries. And it once again demonstrates Leitziger's ability to establish in international law the objectives of free and above all fair trade. The United States Trade Representative, one of America's most potent resources in establishing the new focus of America's trade policy. Now on the economic calendar today, we will get the ADP report on new employees for September. The Street expects to see about 185,000 new hirees added to the nation's payroll. That's up over 20,000 from August. And don't forget, today we'll also hear that speech from Chairman of the Federal Reserve Board, Powell. Now in earnings calls today, Lennar Corporation, the giant Miami-based home builder, will report their results this morning before markets open. Also reporting early this morning will be RPM International. They're a leading provider of industrial coating and sealants, and also Acuity Brands, a manufacturer of lighting products and controls. And those are the companies that we're previewing today. We'll be back tomorrow to review their performance and look forward to a new group of companies as earnings season continues. This has been a copyrighted edition of ValueSide, published before the opening of the New York Stock Exchange for Wednesday, October 3rd. Don't forget, you can hear ValueSide on Google Music, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and in the Apple iTunes Store. For all of us at ValueSide, I'm David Ravel, hoping you have a great day.